Welcome back to These Guys Again, a weekly film podcast, also shortened for TGA. Mark, stop doing that face at me. This is why I have finally come back, because you guys have reduced this podcast to the level it's been at for the last couple of weeks. It's a hole in the ground now. I'm here to bring us back to the top. So the first thing I'm going to do with us being back is saying, Mark, can you tell us the news?
I can. Well, like you said, it's been several weeks since we've done this, so there's been a backlog of news, but I'll just try and get through some of the most interesting things as quickly as possible. Universal has relaunched plans to bring Battlestar Gallactica to the big screen in a sort of a multi-film franchise, I assume to combat the success or piggyback on the success of Star Wars. It originally went into development back in 2009 following the success of the series. Mm-hmm. Bryan Singer was originally attached to direct, but then after it all went cold, that he obviously dropped off, but they're trying to bring it back now. No word on who's directing or anything, but could be interesting. The series was brilliant. Along
the same sort of lines probably as Star Wars and Star Trek, and kind of hitting those kind of
exactly.
kind of larger adventure sort of story.
There's money there, so why not?
Yeah, the only thing is that Battlestar was huge at the well, it's still got a massive following. It was huge at the time.
That board game though.
The board game.
Them ones.
But the series that, like, obviously the modern series that was really good, it did kind of dissipate as time went on. As far as a lot of people did think it went down in quality as it went.
Really?
Well, the common consensus was the writing was a bit all over the place.
Well, there was a problem because there was the writer's strike, which hit right in the middle of Series 4. So,
but even then, there was like that did. People always like to blame the writer's strike, but there are a lot of stuff that would have just been delayed as a result of it. But the last couple of seasons just weren't as solid. Particularly the end. Like, a lot of people have had issues with the ending.
No, I loved it.
But as well as that, the two series that followed after both weren't particularly successful, because one got Capricorn got cancelled, and then the one after that didn't have a particularly large. What was that? Blood and Chrome.
Yeah.
And so the interest kind of dwindled. Same thing with, like, there was a point where Stargate was SG1 was doing really well, and then it just kind of again just sort of fell off with each subsequent series. Even the one.
No, I completely agree. But then look at Star Trek as well. That was dwindling, but that got revitalized with.
Oh well, and they're taking another shot at the series as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's all revitalized, all that. So I mean, don't count Battlestar out. I mean, just needs the right.
It just depends on the right team. Yeah, no, exactly. So it's just odd because it's not one I really foresaw them bringing back at this point.
Well, they weren't going to. I think, like I said, it's just to space is in just now. So why not try it?
Yeah.
Then they should bring back Farscape.
Farscape. They did bring back Farscape for a one-off film.
It's never actually been better to be a nerd than right now, is it? I mean, comic books are huge, and
Robot Wars is coming back.
That'd be great. Yeah. Although, Mark, you already have no more room for all your sci-fi collectibles, so I don't know what you're going to do.
Get an extension.
There's a glass box on the side of the building.
A couple of weeks ago, Funny or Die released a short, well, it's about 50 minutes, sort of satirical comedy called Donald Trump's The Art of the Deal. Had Johnny Depp playing Donald Trump and Ron Howard. I'm not sure if he directed it, but he was definitely involved in the production, semi-directed it. It's like Johnny Depp is fantastic in it, and it pokes a lot of fun at Trump, but I mean, it's enjoyable. It's probably worth a watch if you're interested in that sort of thing. It's good fun. We all saw Deadpool, earned $150 million in the opening 4-day weekend, which makes it the highest opening in all time for an R-rated movie. It was $58 million film, has earned, I think, upwards of $500 million now.
Yeah.
Like, once it's been exposed worldwide, and that was without being released in China and heavily edited cuts going to like India and things. So it's done really well. Awesome. I think it's on track to be the highest grossing R-rated film of all time, which is held by Passion of the Christ at the moment. But it may have even surpassed that.
Yeah.
So following the success of that, there's, well, rumors, but apparently it's been confirmed now, and it had been for a while, the Wolverine will be R-rated, the third Wolverine solo film.
Which is what it should have been before.
Well, there's an R-rated cut of
the Wolverine.
It still doesn't particularly say. It's just that third act. That third act is not good.
Yeah, so that there was an R-rated cut of that, but it got edited back down because at that time they thought R-rated superhero films aren't going to fly.
Yeah.
And also the popularity of it is apparently supposed to have given green light a bit of a boost for X-Force, because there's a script in the works and there's ideas for it, but along the same lines of Deadpool, it's like, well, this is going to have to be R-rated to be successful in X-Force.
Depends which version of X-Force they're doing as well.
Yeah, but you'd assume it would involve Deadpool because
It'll be the
popularity of the character.
It'll be the modern
go.
post-Messiah complex of X-Force with Wolverine and so on,
Especially if they're bringing Cable into Deadpool too and all that. And
they've already got Angel, Psylocke.
Yep.
They're all they've pretty much got almost every piece on the board for that sort of version.
So if X-23 or something could be interesting, but
And Aquaman.
Yep, Aquaman, Booster Gold, all the key players.
But yeah, it's a great thing for superhero films. And then recently they announced that the Blu-ray release of Superman and Batman will have an R-rated cut.
Which I think is good, considering it's come from the guy who did Watchmen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really glad about that. That's really interesting. Because I don't think there's not really been that many films that do that.
What Superman films ever had an R rating?
Exactly. I mean,
Let me think about it. And this is Superman 2. It's the way it's been treated.
well, you can tell that the tone of Man of Steel was pushing a lot of that. I mean, a lot of it's kind of skirted in the background. All these people dying in Metropolis and all that.
It's not on the nose with blood or that sort of violence. It's more mass destruction kind of violence.
But I mean, obviously, it's a
Violence
PG.
against a greater scale.
Yeah, violence against a landmass.
Obviously, the theatrical release is going to be PG-13, but there will be an R-rated version released on Blu-ray, which would be really interesting.
Stuff like that also pushes the sales of the DVD or Blu-ray. Some people, if they see something in the cinema, they won't
bother getting it.
But it's a different.
In this
cut.
version, Batman takes people's heads off. Wow!
Every punch has a
What
head
was
fly
wanted.
off. Amazing. I
Punch his head off.
Also for we've gone on and on about it, but it is also a credit to the marketing of Deadpool that I'm glad it's been rewarded with that kind of success. That it's
Well, yeah, I mean, a year ago, 80% of the people that claim they love the film didn't know who Deadpool was.
Yeah,
so that's
exactly.
That's
it'd be interesting to hear the comics if they've actually improved in sales and things, just to see.
Well,
how
they did recently relaunch it after he died.
Oh, did they relaunch it?
Yeah, there's a new series, issue 7 now, I think. It's good. On also episode 7, its Blu-ray release will have, I think, 7 deleted scenes. Whether those are cut into the film to make a director's cut or they're just deleted scenes, I don't know. But I mean, I know what some of them are, some of the things that were left on the cutting room floor. But the reason a lot of the things were cut was because it affected the pace of
the
it.
flow of the film.
Do you think we'll get the speeder chase on there?
I don't think. Well, I don't know. There may be.
Form.
Yeah, there may be a version. Obviously, it probably wasn't completed because it was cut before it was finished. But
Because I think they should definitely include some of the stuff for Kylo Ren that was taken out because it does make his character a lot more.
Yeah, like when he's boarding the Millennium Falcon. And
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
There's quite a lot of interesting things that were filmed or were planned to be filmed.
See, I've avoided all that. Remember, I told you I went on complete media blackout around the film.
Well, this has all come out after it's released.
I'd also like to see that hybrid Anakin Force Ghost thing. I thought
Yeah,
that was a really
I
cool
think
concept.
that was
I think
just,
it was only
that's
concept.
all conceptual.
This is the biggest question, will it finally tie it in to the Thanksgiving special?
Moving on.
Will Lumpy be there?
Episode 8. Star Wars Episode 8 has started production. They released a short but very poignant little short that was great. It's just a shot focusing on Luke's face and then cuts to director going, "Welcome to Episode 8," and it's very, very interesting.
That'd be great if it was like, yeah, it's been cancelled already.
Here comes Tron 3.
And following that, it was announced that Benicio del Toro and Laura Dern have joined the cast.
Okay. Benicio del Toro will also play a mental person because he always plays really mental people.
Most probably.
He won't play like a loving father and then he'll be like, I just love my son so much. That's not Benicio del Toro. We won't have that. He will be mental. He'll be arranging some sort of deal.
Maybe he will play that character. Because that's not what
I want to act.
Yeah.
No, he'll probably play that. Who was it they kept mentioning? The Jabba sort of figure that Han mentioned.
Oh yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Essentially, there's the person that they broke the deal with. There's the character
That person
mentioned
who
before.
got the Millennium Falcon.
That's Unkar Plutt. That was...
the
guy before it,
they do
Duquesne.
mention- Duquesne.
Duquesne, okay.
Duquesne came up a couple of times. And Duquesne sounds like a mental person. That sounds like a mental person's name. That doesn't sound like a loving father who only wants the best for his boy.
Fair point. Yeah.
Oh, Benicio.
Oh, and you've forgotten your R-rated, like comic book news, Batman standalone film as well. It might be R-rated.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Because they've had the chat about who Jason Todd could be in that as well.
Taron Egerton.
I can't do all the news, damn it. Speak up sooner, Irv.
Yeah, what's the guy called too? It's
Taron Egerton, who's in
Kingsman. Yeah, so that'd be interesting.
Who's what?
It's the character to play actor.
Maybe to play Jason Todd.
There's a possibility for Jason
sweet.
Todd. So
That'd be cool.
be interesting.
The Revenant cinematographer Emmanuel Lubezki won the top honor, the 30th Annual Society of Cinematographers Award. Marked his
That may
fifth,
sound dodgy, but we're clapping.
his fifth triumph in the category. He's following wins for Children of Men, Tree of Life, Gravity, and Birdman. There's a very good chance he'll follow that up with
And Revenant.
third Oscar. Yeah, and Revenant. But let's mention that. Following on, I mentioned a couple of podcasts ago that Jurassic Park Live was going to be being done, which is really interesting. And they've recently announced Aliens Live in
Skating
London.
phenomenon.
in the Royal Albert Hall in London in November.
I do just imagine like a stage with all these people
Dressed up as xenomorphs.
in all black on like wire work floating everywhere. Just I just want to be an alien.
So you're imagining Aliens the ballet is what you're imagining.
Oh, Nostromo.
Contrary to the imagination of my friends, it's the Royal Albert Hall will be screening Aliens with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra playing James Horner's soundtrack, which is quite nice considering he died last year. So, and I do have tickets to that. So yeah,
Of course you do.
That's ace.
You're all about the aliens.
Yeah.
They mostly come at night to dance. We've got to start writing this, guys.
They come out the walls.
coming out the walls, coming out the walls.
See, that's what you want to see.
Yeah, it writes
You're
itself.
only going to be disappointed.
Beware of their acid breath.
Oh, I've seen this version. Oh.
The sequel to Kingsman has apparently got Julianne Moore in talks to play the villain.
Can I make a prediction? It's going to be called Kingsman 2.
Secreter Service.
Secret Servicer. That's a porn, if anything.
So that this is all just it's not rumors, but she's in talks. Nothing's confirmed. She's not definitely playing, but it'd be interesting.
Who saw Kingsman? Because I still haven't seen
it,
Kingsman.
no.
You haven't seen Kingsman?
No, I've heard a lot.
I've heard good things.
It's brilliant. Yeah,
it's
so I
good,
need to
yeah.
watch Kingsman
Because that's a
Particularly-
Mark Miller.
Mark Miller,
It's a
yeah.
Mark Miller one, and
Particularly the scene in the church. It's one of the best things I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
That was.
Mark Miller's like films have been, like his comics were always a bit on and off.
Yeah,
for me, but
I read Secret Service. It's not stellar, but the film is brilliant.
the film's just good. Yeah, it was.
Also,
It was
it's
one of
Matthew
those
Vaughn.
ones. It was
Yeah,
one of those
Matthew
ones
Vaughn.
that he made the deal as he wrote it
Yeah,
because he
yeah.
seems to do that with a lot of his stuff now.
Yeah. Although that would be a good name for the single, the sequel, just Kingsman's.
Kingsman's.
Like
Kingsman,
Gremlins, Aliens,
There you go.
Kingsman's.
Blade Runner 2 has got a release date set to January 12th, 2018. Ridley Scott isn't directing, but the movie is set to begin filming this July and stars Ryan Gosling and Harrison Ford, who is returning as the replicant Rick Deckard. And it's,
Oh, and have they confirmed that that's what he's going? Like that's what he because that's
The point of contention
Yeah,
is
that's
like
the
if he's a
point of
replicant
contention
or
for
not.
years.
he's a replicant.
well because in the book he isn't. Or
Yeah, but
in
Ridley,
the-
Ridley Scott said he was.
and Harrison Ford
Ford
didn't
said,
think he
yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harrison Ford argued it, so it's a very
Well, Ridley Scott said he was, and he's partly written this, so I imagine he probably will end up being.
But then Ryan Gosling has a very cyborg face.
Well,
he
it's-
looks
there's-
like a robot.
I mean, he's going to be.
Do you see how fake his skin looked in
Big Short.
The Big Short? Come on, he's ready to be a cyborg. Looks like he's on a newly upholstered couch now. So
He's got Matthew McConaughey syndrome.
he does.
I don't know. He might be a replicant. He might not. That's not been confirmed. We'll have to wait and see.
Either way, the director and the actor will disagree. So
But yeah, it's Denis Villeneuve, the guy that directed Sicario, that's directing
that's
it.
awesome.
Oh, amazing.
Because that was good.
He's a really he did Prisoners as well. That's a great film.
Oh, did you
but-
do Enemy as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you?
But Ridley
Can't see
Scott is
Prisoners.
staying on as executive producer, so he will be involved in it. He's
Yeah,
obviously
yeah.
tied up a lot in Alien
He
Covenant.
said
at the
he
moment.
partly wrote. Did he write this script?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
Because I've heard because there's been this is one of those ones that in production, even though we're not seeing a lot about it, each time a draft's been finished, it's been spoken out to the public that
Yeah.
this.
Well, it's been in
you know,
production for such a long time because for
Yeah.
so long people thought it wasn't a good idea. Harrison Ford would only come back if Ridley Scott came back and all this sort of stuff. But
Yeah.
the way it's going, it's looking good.
And then they call it Blade Runners.
Or Blade Running.
Blade Ran.
According to Zack Snyder, DC will start shooting Justice League Part 1 this April, looking to a November 17th, 2017 release. Obviously, trying to get this going as fast as they can.
Yeah. Hope Spider-Man's in this one.
Still my joke, I was about to say that.
I looked into your eyes and just knew it.
Having said that, it's interesting that it was recently revealed that Spider-Man's not appeared in any of the trailers for Civil War or any of the promotional material because apparently it was part of the deal with Sony that he's not used for any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Obviously, it's because Marvel. It's going to be attracting money for Marvel, but I don't know why they wouldn't want that because
There's been a lot of I remember
There's
reading
so
about this
many
before.
things,
There's been
yeah.
a disagreement over how he's going to be used,
Yeah.
and it's also what he's going to look like and things like. There's loads of stuff because it's
according to the Russo brothers, there's multiple cuts of what he's actually doing in the film, and
as well as that, it's to do with they haven't agreed on who's going to get what percentage of money for the products that are released on it, so they will not finalize an appearance and will not show his appearance until they've agreed on who's going to get what percentage.
It's funny, that was like one of the
they're
great
gonna get.
jokes was like they're going to have like a focus group like after the film. It was like, who did you like? Did you like the Avengers? Or did you like Spider-Man?
Tick the box. But yeah, no. Also great segue, Mark. I'm going to give you credit for that one. That was good. That was smooth. We're clapping.
The segue clap. And it's gone.
Finn Jones has been cast as Iron Fist in Netflix Iron Fist. Apparently, this has caused a lot of controversy on the internet and Twitter because even though in the canon Iron Fist is played by a white man who goes to Asia, and a lot of people were thinking
He's basically Bruce Wayne. Like that's essentially it. He just
go to Asia to learn some martial arts. Fight injustice, dead parents.
but a lot of people were thinking that. Sorry. A lot of people were thinking it'd be a good chance to get an Asian actor to play a superhero. Not that he's Asian, but it's
it would fit the
it's a
culture,
clear role
Yeah.
that an Asian person could fit into. And
well, yeah, because it's all based on old like even the last comic, Living Weapon, it was very much. It was made to look like a classic kung fu film.
Yeah. So there's a lot of issues being raised about that because that the producers and things are saying, well, it's not canon and all that. But as we know, especially in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and other things like with Fox and everything, the canon isn't necessarily
it's not
vital.
Yeah,
it's its own it's its own entity. It doesn't need.
You missed out a great quote there, Mark. The canon is not canon.
But and it's the first thing that came into my head was I didn't really think of this actor, but then again, very often with Marvel, no one saw the guy from Stardust being Daredevil.
No one really saw Kristen Ritter either.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be what's the actor called from The Guest who was in Downton Abbey?
That guy.
Because you
Dan
really liked that
Stevens.
film. Yeah, Dan Stevens. I thought like that's. The
I
sort
would
of
have liked
person
Jim
who would
Carter. He would have been a mean Iron Fist, the butler.
that would have been terrible. But that's the thing. At the same time, they would have been criticized for not following canon. They would have been criticized for following canon. It's just
it's
You guys avoided the source material.
at the end of the day, I'm just happy they're doing Iron Fist because for a while people weren't sure if this was going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to be Moon Knight, some crazy guy.
Although them announcing that the actor, he must be queued up to appear relatively soon because it's not good. The
He
way
should be
plans are
appearing
going,
on Luke Cage.
yeah,
I
the way
imagine.
plans are going, you'd expect it by the schedule they've got to not be until like November next year. But he must appear much sooner.
He probably will show up in
Luke
like
Cage.
I said in Luke Cage, which
Well, they're best friends
which is pitched for the end of the year. It's not been official.
Yeah.
But then he's probably going to show up. Like I don't know, he might get next March release or something.
Yeah. They also said there's no plans for a Punisher series,
Yeah, I know. He's just exclusively, and same with Electra. They're just sticking to Daredevil.
which is good.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's good actually.
Just so you don't get too much folk in the mix.
Yeah. And it's not long till that now, so
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
very
like
interesting.
because all the characters intertwine with each other anyway. Like, the more series you create, the more spread out it's going to get, and I don't think it's going to attract as many viewers as having more interesting characters in less series.
Yeah,
Especially
because they're all related anyway.
a wee bit like with Punisher's track record as well. you know, with like all his other films and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
cool.
Punisher series. I mean, he's not. I don't know, really read much of his comics, but he's not. He's just a guy with a gun, really, isn't he? So
Yeah.
Well, they're playing him the way he should be played. Punisher is essentially a villain.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's just a villain that people really
But
like.
I think there are
Yeah.
certain characters that work well as secondary characters, and then other ones that sort of spearhead their own series. And Punisher's better as a secondary character.
Punisher always it works well when there's someone morally like there's a counter to him.
Yeah.
This is someone who is. They're both trying to achieve the same goal, but in different ways, and so there's a really interesting sort of dynamic.
Because
to
they've set
that.
up the trailer really nice. Where it's just like I'm just you, but on like your
I've
worst,
still
baddest
not
day.
watched it. I've
Yeah.
intensely
Good.
not watched it.
No, I haven't
because I'm
watched
waiting
it
for
either.
Yeah.
Also, the Punisher works best when he has a beard.
Yes, we always
when he's Solid Snake Punisher.
Solid Snake Punisher was the best looking Punisher, and that was the Greg Rucka.
Yeah,
Greg
yeah.
Rucka Punisher was really good.
And that's when you got the crossover with Daredevil and Spider-Man, which is
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic.
He has no, there's no like internal dialogue or like it's just kind of he minimally talks the whole thing and it just works. Yeah, give him a beard and an eye patch.
So yeah, that's a brief overview of the news from the last couple of weeks. The other things to worth talking about. I mean, when this is released, the Oscars will have been last night.
Yes.
I wonder
They were fantastic.
Oh.
Did everyone see them? They were so good.
I wonder who
we'll talk
wore
about
what.
them next week.
Did anyone see Leo cry when he didn't get the Oscar?
We can't edit that if it doesn't happen. Yes, you can.
I can't believe that the Atlanta Falcons.
But we can briefly touch on the BAFTAs, which was a couple of weeks ago. I mean, it was good. No real surprises there. Revenant picked up Best Film. Alejandro picked up Best Director. Best Original Screenplay was Spotlight. Best Adapted Screenplay was Big Short.
That was
Leo
interesting.
won Best Actor. Brie Larson Best Actress.
glad about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mark Rylance won Best Supporting Actor for Bridge of Spies.
Brilliant. He was awesome.
I still haven't seen that.
And Kate Winslet for Steve Jobs picked up Best Supporting Actress.
She was good in that.
Yes, she was.
Even though her accent changes about quarter of the way through the film.
Yes, but it takes place over a long period of time. So you know what? Maybe she's
People
adapting
can
to the
change,
culture.
Tom.
God, Tom.
Just saying.
I will not hear a bad thing about Kate Winslet on this podcast.
Original music was picked up by Ennio
Kate Winslet,
Morricone
she's
for
good.
Hateful Eight.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, as has been, Mad Max picked up the majority of the technical awards for editing, production,
And
costume design,
picked
makeup.
up Best Effects. Remember we thought that was
Yeah,
going to happen.
Star Wars picked up Best
Yeah.
Effect. Well, I don't think it's going to happen in the Oscars.
Yeah.
BAFTAs is fair enough, but I don't
Yeah.
think it's going to pick up the Best Oscar.
No, I don't think it should either.
Yeah.
I thought the Mad Max visual effects were better than
Yeah.
the Star Wars ones.
Yeah.
And also John Boyega got Rising Star.
Yeah, John Boyega
Yeah,
got
which is good.
Rising Star, and Sidney Poitier got the the Fellowship.
Craig's pointing out
award.
the Punisher again.
Yeah, it's a great picture. Continue.
Yeah, well, that's it.
It's a good list to be honest. Like, other than we personally will not really, agree with The Big Short, but
Well, it was adapted screenplay.
yeah,
I mean,
exactly. It's not like it's a best film sort of thing.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I mean the remainder in the category were Brooklyn, which I didn't see, Carol, which I didn't see, Room, which was good, but I mean it wasn't.
We don't know about
Well, no, it's it's not necessarily sold on the screenplay. I mean, it's the performances that do it. And Steve Jobs, which because Aaron Sorkin was up for that, which was a good.
Yeah, everyone thought he was going to pip that. Like,
Yeah.
So
So I mean, okay, yeah, you're right. I don't agree with The Big Short, but I mean that's
glad-
the only award it picked up, so that's all it deserves.
I'm glad something went through for Jobs though, because Jobs I thought was a good film. I know a
Yeah.
lot of people have been
Jobs
said
was
it's
very
quite
good, yeah.
controversial, but I really liked the way it was
yeah.
done.
And I also thought it flopped as well, which is a shame for Danny.
But no one knew it was coming out. Like that was the
Yeah.
opposite of Deadpool.
Well,
There was no
Fassbender was
marketing.
up for Best Actor as well
Yeah.
for the BAFTA.
Yeah. Has anyone seen the Ashton Kutcher one?
No, there's been
No.
3 of them now, hasn't there?
yeah.
I don't know. I only know the Ashton
Christian
Kutcher one.
Bale did.
The Ashton
role
Kutcher
as
one
well.
wasn't terrible. I mean, he does look quite a lot like Steve
Yeah,
Jobs.
but
That's the whole
That's-
reason he was sold
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
role.
yeah,
Yeah.
but the film is like I think I read a quote on it saying that like if Steve Jobs could have basically Steve Jobs is all about sort of style and all that kind of stuff, and I think he'd be really pissed off to find out that the story about his life is just like so dull. Like because that film is really boring. It's a really boring
yeah,
movie. It's
yeah.
not a bad film. It's just really really dull.
Yeah.
I just
So
like
it's
the
almost
way-
like contrast to the person that they're trying to pay tribute to.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very strange.
I liked the thing I liked with Jobs with that film was just as a last point was I just liked the idea to the story being the 3 press conferences.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was just
clever.
a really interesting idea.
Yeah, it's a shame it flopped.
Couple other things I missed out. Alex Garland was robbed of his.
I know, it's a shame that one
His
time
BAFTA
like, just cut to like Alex Garland. He's like
I know
broken.
because outstanding debut by British writer, director, producer was picked
Oh,
up
yeah, it
by
went to-
Naji Abu
yeah.
Nowar, writer director of Thebe, which I haven't seen,
Yeah.
but.
So Alex Garland, did he get any?
No, well,
No.
he was only he got the
The Ex Machina had a few nominations, didn't it?
I think it's for the screenplays.
outstanding British film, which was picked up by Brooklyn.
It was also up for special effects.
It was
It's
up
also
for
like their
effects, yeah.
special effects reel was like
They had a low
Great.
budget for that as
Yeah,
well, and
yeah.
he said himself he just picked guys that he knew could work with that budget and make it work, and it
Yeah.
Well,
did.
it's an absolutely fantastic film.
Yeah.
yeah,
Still haven't seen it actually.
Oh, it's an excellent.
It's definitely worth a watch.
it's good.
But yeah, that was
should watch it.
that was the BAFTAs, and then that'll thankfully be the end of awards season, and we can start to move on to some
Just-
good films coming on because we
Just
have
enjoy yourselves.
we have reached what
Let's
we
get
are
past the intelligent ones that make us think and get on to the ones that are just awesome.
exactly
Yeah.
because we've had to grumble our way through as we've affectionately dubbed Meh-buary.
Yeah.
Very meh group of films released this month. I mean,
Don't know what you're talking about.
Been pretty stale.
Great films.
and like things that we've all seen different things, and we'll all talk about them briefly. I mean, been entertaining, not what I would say was bad, but nothing really exciting.
No.
Before we get onto that, though, I mean, it has been 4 weeks since Craig has been here, and he still has not watched Jackie Brown.
I just have no urge to watch Jackie Brown.
So there will be no Tarantino 2 minutes.
I don't really blame you, to be honest.
I've not heard. It's just because a lot of people have not told me good things about it. Has
Michael Keaton.
Oh well,
Has
I'll watch
Michael
it now.
Keaton?
It has Michael Keaton. Okay,
Yeah, it's
I'll
true.
get around to it. I will watch it.
You'll enjoy it more than you enjoy Death Proof.
And Chris Tucker.
I enjoyed Death Proof.
Oh, yeah, it's got Chris Tucker in it. Yeah.
I will watch it. I
it's
will.
been ages since I've seen that.
I'll
And-
do that for next week. I'll get
And
Jackie
Sam
Brown.
Jackson with a
You got two to
ponytail
watch
beard.
next week.
Yeah.
I'll watch 2 for next week then.
And Robert
So
De
bef-
Niro before he got.
2 for next
I
week.
can watch 2 for next
I'll
week.
watch 2 for next
You
week.
can't watch 2 for next week because after that's Kill Bill, and that is 2 films. So just Jackie
Yeah,
Brown,
Tom.
just
I'll
Jackie
just do
Brown for
Jackie
next
Brown.
week. Then Kill Bill Volume
Stop
1.
telling me how to live my life, Mark.
I've already told you, and you haven't followed me, so you do it. But yeah, moving on to the films we've seen this month. Seen Zoolander 2, Trumbo, Grimsby, and 999. Who wants to go first?
999, the third in the trilogy. The first one was just called Single 3.
Okay, Craig, you start.
You want me to start?
Discuss Zoolander.
Zoolander, the riveting film Zoolander.
2.
Zoolander 2, or Zoolander number 2, or
Two-lander.
Two-lander, which they were cycling through the names, so I didn't know what I was seeing by the end. The film has its standout sort of laugh moments. It does have some really funny moments, but it based a lot of things off of the original Zoolander template. Like as
I
far
expected
as
that, yeah.
as far as the way the film looked, it did look overly shiny at points. Like everything is really orange in this film. It's like we're in Italy, make everything orange. And
Well, I think the reason they did that was because I think the film is actually because obviously Derek Zoolander's a dumbass, and most of the characters in it are dumb. So I think they were doing that. So when they're in Italy, they make it look as Italian as possible.
so like Team America.
exactly,
make it
So
stereotypical.
it's almost like also I think.
Yeah, but it's hard to criticize it. It was written by my boy Justin Theroux, so
I did see that, and Craig's
Yeah.
going to be awfully partial to that.
we can't let Craig.
Such a pretty man, Justin.
Yeah, but that's as much as the cinematography is not a big part of this film.
Yeah.
The acting, again, not a big part of this film because a lot of the people in the film are not actors. Like
You have Neil deGrasse Tyson in this. I was like, what?
they have loads. The whole film is like random cameos everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, did you
Katy
see
Perry.
John Malkovich?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
He's
jail.
in prison, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a random guy in a
Yeah.
prison cell. Like,
Katy Perry pops up completely pointlessly.
Yeah.
this is the thing.
I have to say the best cameo was Kiefer Sutherland.
Yes,
He was-
Keith Sutherland and Billy
Recurring.
Zane at the start.
Oh, God.
Goodbye, Billy Zane.
Kiefer Sutherland was hilarious. Like,
But the thing with this film
just
is
Jack Bauer.
so much of this film was
Pregnant Jack
based.
yeah.
if you didn't see the first film,
kick
there's
the
a
door
lot of
down.
jokes that would miss the mark with this one because there were so many jokes played on the structure of the last film or stuff from the last film, and the cameos as well. Because the first one had quite a few little cameos, they did the exact same thing with this. The only issue was the plot to the first one was ridiculous, but this one, because it's kind of globe hopping and ridiculous, it's kind of all over the place.
It's weird because it didn't really have like sort of surrealness, enough surreal to it.
It just doesn't really have a structure. It just kind of bounces all over the place. So plot wise, it's kind of really weird. Like, I know it's a comedy film that's ridiculous, but it's too ridiculous to the point where you think, okay, why are they doing this? There are a couple of jokes that miss the mark as well. There are some standout funny parts, but again, it's not. It goes a bit full on and it goes a bit weird.
Yeah, I think the one thing that annoyed me more than anything, actually, in that film. Mark, have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Well, this isn't going to spoil it because it's so blatantly obvious what this is. But like when Hansel gets injured, and he's wearing that mask. Why, like in all the promos and all that kind of stuff, and all the trailers, why didn't they show him in that mask? Because you see him out of it and everything. So that whole joke is completely ruined.
Completely ruined.
Yeah.
Like, it's so obvious what was going to happen, but that could have actually been a really funny joke.
Yeah.
I got the same feeling for the Mugatu coming out in the
thing,
muscle
yeah.
suit.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that looked hilarious, but then they just revealed him ripping it off in the trailer. I was like, well, okay,
No, exactly.
that was hilarious.
Although,
but
the
now
piano
joke
key
is ruined.
necktie tattoo is great.
Yeah.
But that's an inside joke. There's loads of these. That's the thing. There's a lot of like naff jokes as well.
Yeah.
Like jokes that feel like, that's not funny. That's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
But there are some really. There's an
I
advert
guess
in
who
it.
wrote those?
Justin Through. That's a
I
lie.
think one of my favourite
They're all
characters
amazing.
was what's his name? Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like
All.
yeah, but
I
it's a
am all.
cameo as well. It's a weird
So funny.
cameo.
Yeah.
It's
But
ridiculous.
there are some really weird roles. I think Will Ferrell again is really funny as Mugatu. I think he's really.
Yeah, he was
Kristen Wiig is hysterical.
Oh, she's hilarious.
Her face and the way she speaks is so funny.
Oh, yeah.
And when she does this random
Yeah.
jaw movement that just is so
Yeah.
odd. She's just
and the fact that she floats.
yeah.
actually walk.
She doesn't walk. She just
Floats.
and she's based off of
Versace.
yeah.
Donatella Versace.
And it's just so funny. There's loads of little fashion jabs as well, like,
Yeah.
towards the end of it that are quite funny.
Yeah.
And they're just ripping into people. And I wish it was just more of just ripping into the fashion industry because that was when this thing was funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it did just get a bit ridiculous. So yeah, do you want me to put it on the 3 rating?
Yeah.
So, or what is the 3 score rating?
Overwhelmed.
Underwhelmed, except for a few jokes. So see, this is my first underwhelmed.
Yeah, I'm the same as
Landmark
well. Underwhelmed.
episode noted.
Landmark episode.
How about you, Tom? You underwhelmed, whelmed, or overwhelmed?
I think I was whelmed. Like I didn't expect much from it, if I'm honest. But
Yeah.
I was just glad they didn't do an Anchorman and like just make it completely over the top like the second Anchorman.
I did think it was I did think it was stupid over the top. And I loved Zoolander. That was my favorite film at one point.
I expected it to be daft and stupid, but I didn't think they went too far. I thought it was. Yeah, but I thought that there was a lot more opportunity with the ridiculous characters they have and the sort of the present they set with the first film. I thought they opened up the door for this one to be a lot funnier than it was because they do have some great characters. And the fact that like the scene in the first film when they're bashing the computers and stuff like that, all those sorts of things are just really really clever.
Yeah.
But they look stupid. And I just thought this one had a much more scope to actually
yeah, exactly.
hit those marks, and I just didn't think it did it.
It wasn't quite.
Yeah.
weird
There were a
enough,
few.
was it?
There were a few that were
There
actually
was
quite
just that
genius.
one great moment, which was just the Aqua Vitae stuff.
Yeah,
so
that was like, this is amazing.
See, that was really
Yeah.
fun. I wanted more of that.
Yeah.
But a lot of it was just like you say, the whole bit in Italy just kind of missed the mark for
The
me.
government
completely.
stuff was so weird.
Yeah.
Just made
I
no
don't
sense.
remember much of that, but
It was just the
and-
organizations and all this sort of stuff
Yeah.
was just weird.
Yeah, it wasn't, and I thought that Hansel wasn't used very well in the film. Like their relationship didn't.
Yeah.
Nothing
The
really
orgy.
happened.
Yeah.
The orgy was hilarious, and like I say, Keith Sutherland was just fantastic in that.
And
film.
also Sting as well. Sting was
orgy.
pretty good.
There's loads of weird things.
Yeah,
that
there's
keep
loads of
happening.
weird
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Like Thingy Grande and stuff just appear. And
Oh, yeah.
Susan Sarandon.
Oh God, yes, it's random.
There's just random people in this whole film. Yeah.
But some of them really well. The Susan Sarandon one was pretty funny. But yeah, there were a lot of just like kind of pointless ones. But
Yeah.
but I enjoyed it. It made me laugh.
Yep.
So, moving on to Irv, I suppose. You saw Trumbo.
Yeah,
The comedy Trumbo.
Give us a brief
great comedy
overview
Trumbo.
and what you thought.
Is that like it? Is that the third film in the Dumbo series?
Dumbo Tree.
Lumbo,
Dumbo, Duumbo, Trumbo.
So I seen Trumbo, which was sort of a real life autobiographical movie during the time of Walton Trumbo, who it was during the time of like post World War II, where like a lot of writers were getting blacklisted for being associated with communism. That's sort of like a post-conservative, paranoid time. It was quite weird because it's something I only had like brief knowledge of it, so I found like the subject matter like really interesting of these people getting sentenced by federal courts and imprisoned and all that. And
Well, a lot of it was kind of kept under wraps until recently, wasn't it?
yeah. So it was like I had hardly any inkling of this, and then I was like, oh yeah, I sort of recognise that fellow, the writer with all the birds and the ace mustache.
Mustache, yeah.
But yeah, it was something that was pretty fascinating. The film itself sort of dragged a wee bit, but it has like great performances like Bryan Cranston's like really good, Dan Lane, and all the family stuff that really works in the movie.
Yeah.
Because also as well, like with it was just a fascinating period during Hollywood, where it's like, you know, same writers kept on getting work, but then it's like when the federal system says like these people can't get work anymore, they're traitors to their country and all that sort of thing, and then being rushed out. But yeah, I thought it was
Kicked out of the guilds and things.
yeah.
Does it go into much with the relationship with his daughter, because she's been quite outspoken recently about the whole thing, obviously in the run up to the film, but
Yeah. She plays like a big part later on. Like you see her like growing up, and I think she goes through like three actresses, and then finally like Elle Fanning. She is a really great performance. Sort of like when she sees how alike she is with her father and stuff, and she's got that sort of outspoken person within her.
cool.
And also as well, it's just like when you've got like odd standouts, like Helen Mirren is amazing. She's an absolute basket case. Sort of like this little conservative things like, oh, these people are traitors, and she's just absolutely vicious.
Oh, Helen Mirren.
And then you've got John Goodman, who steals the show as like this guy who like just basically makes crap movies. So it's like you've got these guys making, you know, these great films, but then when they can't get work, they have to work for like these really crap snuff films, or like, you know, really rubbish monster films. They're like, I've got a gorilla in a suit, and I need to make a movie with a gorilla suit. It's like, okay, I'll make you a film with a gorilla suit then. You know, so it's pretty good.
People, John Goodman doesn't get nearly enough credit. People always forget
he's
how
amazing.
good John Goodman
Yeah.
is.
Looking forward to 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah.
Mainly for John Goodman.
And then also with the film as well, it's sort and charts like his getting back up into the world, and it finishes around about the time of Spartacus, and that's the first film that he was able to get out, and also like to get a writer's credit on it.
Yeah, because he was not credited in quite a lot.
Yeah,
of
so
stuff.
he's not credited for a ton of stuff. And then also another weird thing apart from the film, there's, you know, how you get like fake celebrities, or like, you know, actors who play real people. It's weird because it's got that, but then it's also got like real people in the movie as well.
Yeah.
Like you've got a hilarious was it the Duke? What's his name? John Wayne, Kirk Douglas. But then you've got like real life John F. Kennedy and stuff like that on the TV.
Yeah.
So that sort of thing's a wee bit weird.
It's quite jarring.
Yeah. But overall, it was pretty good. I wouldn't say overwhelmed, but I'd say whelmed. So if you get a chance to see it, I'd recommend
Interesting
it.
subject matter, but maybe this film wasn't executed as well as it could be.
Quite baggy a wee bit, but very fascinating.
Performances were pretty solid.
Yeah, Cranston's
Because Cranston's nominated off of this.
Yeah.
So was it definitely, would you say, he definitely deserved that after
Yeah. He goes for it. Like in Dan Lane, she's really, really good. And same Elle Fanning. So solid whelmed.
Fair enough.
Solid whelmed.
Solid whelmed. Solid meh. Well, I saw Grimsby.
Oh dear.
Grimsby.
See, I actually have been interested in seeing Grimsby because I do think that Sacha Baron Cohen is brilliant.
Yeah, it's good. I'll say it's good. Sacha Baron Cohen's latest film. You know, he plays your North England football hooligan, separated from his brother at birth, and it turns out his brother Mark Strong is a world's greatest secret agent.
First person secret agent as well.
First person secret agent. Yeah, that sequence is actually brilliant in the film.
Yeah.
Is it along sort of a similar line to Spy in terms of its humour?
No.
Is it completely different?
It's along the lines of
Like
Bruno.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
It's Sacha Baron Cohen.
I've heard a lot of Sacha Baron Cohen. One of the things I do like about him is he does push boundaries quite a bit.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
It's his brand of humor.
Yeah, I mean the thing with Sacha Baron Cohen and the thing with Grimsby, I suppose, is Sacha Baron Cohen. He's great with his character comedy. He creates these characters and he goes really into the role, and it's not. It's almost kind of performance art in the way he plays this character out. And the problem with Grimsby is it's probably his least successful character, and therefore his least successful film comes from that. I mean, everyone loves Ali G, and everyone thought
As well as those, they
great.
were all based off programs he'd already been doing the characters.
Not Bruno.
Bruno was.
Really?
Bruno. He when he was in America
Yeah.
doing the Borat stuff, he had the Bruno character as well.
Oh yeah. Okay, the character existed. Yeah. Okay.
Because it was part of the TV program. Because by the time that had come out, that was all three of his TV characters he'd turned into films.
Yeah, but then there's the Dictator as well.
That's a great.
Oh yeah, no, True
which
Dictator
is-
as well, which is an original
Yeah,
one as well.
which is really good. And I really enjoyed that. And again, if you like his style of comedy, if you like what he does, it's good. Great performances from him, and Mark Strong's such a great sport in it. I mean,
Yeah.
like he goes through a lot of anguish in this, but
Do they bounce off each other quite well? Is there?
Yeah,
are they
no,
good together?
there's a lot of great interaction between them going on, which is good, and some really awkward situations. I mean, things not safe for podcast, but there's a lot to enjoy. There's a lot of good sort of British humor in it as well. A lot of the problems with it though come from kind of supporting cast as well, mainly because he doesn't write a good part for any of the women in it. I mean, you've got Isla Fisher sort of behind
His wife.
his wife, but not so
Yeah,
she's just
in
kind
real
of,
life,
she's
it's
just
his
kind of
wife,
there
yeah.
for the sake of it. I mean,
Cameo.
yeah, well, it's not so much a cameo, but she doesn't have much to say. She's kind of behind sort of the CIA front, behind Mark Strong and things. Rebel Wilson plays his girlfriend, which there's some hilarious stuff with her. She's got some really really good lines. So she says some really good things, but she's not a great character. And then Penelope Cruz as well. She's wasted in it as well. But I mean, overall, it's a fun film. If you don't go in expecting much more than Sacha Baron Cohen film, it's good. I mean, I enjoyed it, but then again, I really like him.
Yeah.
So
Couldn't you see him playing Freddie Mercury? Because remember that
yeah,
he's back.
no,
he's
I
back
definitely
in that
can.
role
I
after being
definitely
taken
can.
off of it.
I definitely can. I mean, especially. I mean,
Because he's in. He has done roles more serious. Like look
Yeah.
at Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney
He was
Todd.
really
Really
good
say
in
he
that.
was fantastic in Sweeney Todd.
Very good in that, actually.
And he was in. He played the Formula One driver in something as well. What was that?
I'm just gonna say Rush or something
I
like
don't
that.
Wait,
Well, I was interested to see this just because I do think Sacha Baron Cohen, he does have that style that
Yeah.
not many people really do. It is a very British thing.
Yeah.
Like you look at the Face Jacker sort of stuff or any of the sort of
so
old.
it's more along the lines of the Dictator than any of the other ones. Like, there's not so much.
The other ones were based on reality roles and
Yeah,
weren't
yeah,
going
it's
into
not-
realistic situations.
It's in no way. It's no way realistic. It's quite slapstick in a way as well.
Yeah, it's
and-
just more of a traditional.
It's a
Fantastic.
scripted story. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Are there any trailers out for it other than the one?
The trailers came
Yeah.
out really late though.
There's quite a few trailers.
Because the only one I've seen is one that's in the cinema, which is the.
2016.
Yeah.
There's a couple of Red Band trailers that came out for it and a few other things. There is one full length trailer. So
Yeah.
Both trailers I saw in the cinema for this film said coming next year.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's coming 2017.
well, I don't know how much. I mean, they're allowed to show in those trailers.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
a lot
A lot of the
films
stuff in the
would
film
have
is
been
quite risky.
Yeah.
Risky.
So what would you say? Whelmed?
Well, definitely whelmed. I mean, not underwhelmed. I'm definitely whelmed because I like Sacha Baron Cohen. I like his style of comedy, but you kind of do feel that the character comedy route is coming to an end. I suppose. I mean, I don't know what his next film will be, but
Well, I think he is still doing that Freddie Mercury role.
yeah. But I mean, his next project.
Yeah,
his next project that he's gonna create. But no, Grimsby was fun. It's worth a watch.
So is it? Would you say it's as good as a Dictator, or?
No, it's against the Dictator.
No.
No.
No, that's good.
It's probably his worst film.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah.
But then I loved Bruno.
I hate it.
I haven't seen Bruno.
I love
Bruno's my
Bruno.
least favourite one of all of them.
I haven't seen
Definitely.
that one.
Probably.
I know Bruno is unpopular, but I thought it was hilarious. And it's some of the comedy is kind of on the level of Bruno, so that'll give you an idea of what to expect.
Yeah.
But it's still really good.
Yeah.
Okay. And so
I will.
And finally, over to Tom, because you've seen 999.
I did. I saw it today,
the
actually.
third in the trilogy.
It's not a trilogy.
It's a quadrilogy. Quadruple 9 next year.
Well, yeah. So I don't know what kind of the trailer for this film didn't come out that long ago, did it? It's not. Been
It was
I never knew this film existed until it was out.
It was very under the radar.
Yeah, it was really under the radar, and it's one of these.
Especially with the cast, that's quite odd.
Yeah, because one of the things I thought is I went to this film thinking that it's got a good cast of people, and I thought it was going to be one of these films that's got a good cast, but ultimately.
It turns into Crash.
Yeah, well, ultimately, like it's just like an average movie, an average heist thriller, but just happens to have a very good cast. So I just went into it thinking I just want to see
Oceans or something, or
well, no, not even Oceans, but just like a heist movie, and what I got was like actually a really well crafted thriller. Like it's really, I thought it was really, really good. I would, all the actors are brilliant. It's all completely solid. The way it's told. It's you think one thing's kind of going on, but then the story goes down another avenue, and yeah, it's just I was just really impressed. I was really impressed by it. It's quite violent as well, which in terms of realism, I mean, like it's not a Tarantino film or anything, but
so it works contextually.
People get killed.
Yeah,
quite. It's very like Sicario type violence.
Okay,
so it's
grounded. It's grounded.
Yeah. The violence is there to
get a reaction.
Yeah, not necessarily to get a reaction, but obviously like Kate Winslet's character, she plays the villain, or you think she plays the villain, but that's what I mean. It kind of like
you're revealing too much of the story.
I just thought the story was really, really good. I thought it was really good, and I thought Casey Affleck's a really good character in this. Like he's not really an actor that I necessarily rate, but I thought he was really good as. He's kind of the starring role in it. And Anthony Mackie as well. Again, I'm not a huge fan. He's brilliant in this. Like, actually legitimately plays a really good character.
Yeah.
And the action, there's a sequence, there's like a shootout where they sort of storm this sort of drug den and stuff. And it's brilliant. Like, the shootout's absolutely excellent. Like, riot shields, all kind of stuff. And it's totally believable. And it's just really good. I was just very surprised.
Along the same sort of style as Heat, or...
Yeah, I mean, I think this. I hope this film gets some recognition because I think it's one of the best sort of crime dramas, thrillers, whatever I've seen in a long time.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I think it's. I wouldn't say it's. I didn't think there's anything wrong with the film at all. I thought it was all completely solid from start to finish.
Oh, brilliant!
The pacing was absolutely excellent. The way the story's told, it keeps you interested because it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't. Run like a natural, like a normal, just run-of-the-mill film. It tells a story very, very concisely, but it does it in a very interesting way. So I can't say much without giving away what's going on, obviously. But yeah, it all really fits. The bit in the trailer where you see them like the characters as well aren't the characters you think they are. In the sense in the trailer, but there's actually a lot more to the characters. Like what's his name? Aaron Paul. Doesn't like in the trailer. I thought he just played like a thug. He's not at all. He's completely. He's like a drug addict. He's pretty much the guy from Breaking Bad, actually. And Woody Harrelson's in it. He plays essentially the character he played in True Detective. But he's great at
The
it.
Hunger Games.
But he's great at
Zombieland.
it. Zombieland, yeah. But no, I honestly, I would say Overwhelmed.
Great.
Yeah, I'd highly recommend watching it.
No, I was really looking forward to it, but then I was kind of disappointed when I saw a lot of the reviews were very sort of middle of the ground.
Yeah.
A lot of things I was reading were saying, it's all style, no substance. But going by what you're saying, then there's.
I said to you, I would say the opposite. Not the opposite, but I would say it's definitely not a film I would say is like over stylish at all. I think it's very grounded and it's very tells
real.
It tells a story really, really well.
That's interesting. I definitely want to see it.
Well, I will go and see it now, and if I disagree with you, I will tell her to cut your mic next week.
You probably will disagree with me because we do disagree on films. But I would say this is one of those movies that I don't think anyone can really go and watch it and not not think it's a good movie.
Not enjoy it.
Not necessarily. No one. So you could go and watch it and say, okay, it's quite slow.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone would see it and think it's not a good film because there's nothing that's not solid about it.
Yeah.
It's all, and the performances are wicked as well.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
It wasn't as good as Double Six.
It wasn't as wicked as Wicked.
Yeah.
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 Double Six, Single 3.
That's the other thing. So I didn't realise what Triple Nine actually meant.
Is it leading up to Quad 12?
Do you want to? Do you guys know what it means?
No, just leave it. Don't tell us. It'll be plot thing.
Hey.
It's a plot thing. No.
Hey?
You're already saying too much.
Well, no. I want you to try. I want you guys to guess. What do you think Triple Nine means?
It means 3 times 9.
Okay, I'm telling you, it's a crime film, right? And it's called
Oh,
Triple Nine.
999.
Well, no, it's in America.
It'll be
Nine.
some sort of. That'll be like a code that matches some sort of like assignment or a. It'll be some sort of code that's like we got a 999 or a 999 and it'll be.
Oh, you mean like a police code?
Yeah, stuff like that.
police code,
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah, he's right. Yeah, but I won't tell you what it means because you'll find out. But it's good. It's good. It gets a 999 from me. I will also say the guy Chiwetel Ejiofor. He's a brilliant actor.
No, he is.
He's so good.
Yeah,
He's like
very
Gary
good things.
Oldman. Everything he's in, he's excellent. He plays a character. He plays a role in this film. He's kind of the main. There's so many main characters. He plays the sort of the first main character you get to, and like he's brilliant. I've never seen him play like a gangster type character before, but the accents he can do. He's just
The man is a chameleon.
absolutely spot on. And he's brilliant. Absolutely
Chameleon.
brilliant. I
Shyamalan.
forgot to mention that. He's awesome, and he plays a tough guy. I've never seen him play a tough guy, but he plays a really good like sort of tough dude. And he's obviously been to the gym. He's pretty stacked.
He's been
But you're a
juicing.
personal trainer, so of course that impresses you. So you're biased in this. So I can't believe you.
His best role is definitely Serenity, though.
True.
Oh, he's amazing. In
He's
that.
great in that.
He's so good in that.
All right, but yeah, so
Good old
we've
Chewie.
kind of been, obviously this has been a kind of a catch-up episode. We've been sort of all over the place recently because, as you said, Mebuary, is it that we called it?
February, yeah.
February.
Nothing to get too excited about, and Oscar hype, so it's all
Yeah.
focusing
And
on
Oscar
the-
season, obviously, like you said, everything comes out in this bubble really quickly. But then it's gonna be a lot smoother sailing going forward as we get to the awesome summer blockbusters. Who cares about substance? Because it's
That
gonna look
start in
amazing.
March.
3D, 4D, 5D doesn't matter. It's gonna be amazing. Superhero films, one every week.
I saw the trailer for the last trailer for Batman Superman in the cinema today. It was awesome.
Fighting weird blob
That was so
congealed whatever the guy is man at the end.
No, the new trailer.
Oh, the new one. Yeah,
Oh,
there's
is that
so
the
many
one-
trailers.
the one that ends
The one that
with
shows. Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the one that shows Batman being an absolute beast at the
Yeah.
beginning, and it's so good in the cinema because every time he hits someone, it's just like crunch. I was like, yeah,
So
Well,
yeah.
if it's anything like Watchmen, the sound's going to be fantastic.
yeah.
And they'll probably go through a prison which is entirely populated by Asian stuntmen. Everyone's flipping.
I was like, I can do the flips.
But yeah, so it's going to be a lot easier going forward. We should have a proper structure back down because it's going to be we're all going to be seeing these big films
Yeah.
each week as they come out, and they all space out to avoid each other because
Saying that, what are we going to see for next week?
I don't know.
Hail Caesar?
Hail Caesar sounds good. Actually, I'm probably
actually.
going to go see Hail Caesar.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good one to go. But
It
then
looks like a Coen Brothers film that I will not like, but I will go and see it.
Coen Brothers don't know how to end films, in my opinion. But then Irv has also said he thinks that they always end them really well. So it's going to be interesting.
That could be interesting.
Always.
Hit or miss.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, we've got a plan going forward. So
Yeah.
things should be okay.
No, we're good. We're good. We got
Okay.
this.
So for all of us here in the studio / kitchen, we're signing off.
Oh, and you're gonna have seen Jackie Brown, aren't you?
Yeah,
see
you'll
Jackie
see
Brown.
Jackie Brown. Jackie Brown and Hail Caesar.
Yes, sounds good.
And Oscars.
And the Oscars.
Ah, yeah.
We'll summarize that.
Them Oscars.
The notable parts.
It'd be so good if Leo doesn't win.
If Leo doesn't win, shall we have a minute's silence for him?
He's not dead yet. He's got plenty more opportunities. For God's sake,
No, he doesn't.
People are,
No, right. He hasn't got plenty more opportunities because he's never going to go through that
Scorsese will
a
at least
more
do one more
harrowing
film.
experience than he did for that movie.
I kind of don't want him to win because once he's got it,
it'd be-
he's going to
it'd be
become
hilarious.
complacent. He's just going to be like,
Complacement, I like that.
he's going to become complacent. He's like, I don't need to do that film. I'll just do this thing that like Robert De Niro did.
I'll just do Grown Ups 5.
I'll just do Dirty Grandpa 2.
Yeah. God, can you imagine imagine like I can't wait till DiCaprio gets older and he starts just like turning on auto act like De Niro does.
No, let me tell you, when I was a boy, I got nominated for that Goldman 4 times.
You wait.
And what did you get? I got a Screen Actors Guild Award and I got a Teen Choice Award. MTV Music Award
Can't wait
for appearing in a music video.
You know, doing like Dustin Hoffman roles, where he, you know.
I think that's a good point to end.
Yeah.
When I was a boy, we used to get Oscars every day we went to the store. They cost 3 playing cards a bite.